Let's talk about some beneficial effects of coffee on some diseases. You might be surprised to learn that several studies have found a consistent link between drinking coffee and a lower risk of many diseases. So let's talk about the Parkinson's. The Parkinson's disease is a neurodegenerative disorder that affects movement, right? So it's caused by the loss of dopamine producing neurons in the brain, which leads to symptoms something like tremors, stiffness, and difficulty with balance and coordination. It's a progressive condition. That means it gets worse over time. And while there's no cure, there are treatments that can help manage the symptoms. So now let's continue to the effects of coffee on Parkinson's disease. So in one big analysis, researchers discovered that the people who drink coffee have a whopping 31% lower risk of Parkinson's compared to those who don't. But here is where it gets interesting. The effect seems to vary between men and women. In studies like the Honolulu Heart Study and the Health Professionals Follow-up Study, which actually focused on men, they found out that the more coffee men drank, the lower their risk of Parkinson's. For every 3 extra cups a day, their risk dropped by 49% for Parkinson's. So however, in studies like the Nurses' Health Study, for example, which included only women, they didn't see the same trend. So now, why this difference? So well, it might have something to do with hormones. But further analysis of the Nurses' Health Study showed that coffee actually lowered Parkinson's risk for women who were not using postmenopausal hormonal therapy. Why might some women use postmenopausal hormones? Well, so postmenopausal hormones therapy is often used to relieve symptoms of menopause. So like hot flashes and vaginal dryness, something like that. We are still not exactly sure why this happens, but some researchers think that it could be related to how estrogen affects caffeine metabolism in the body. So what's the takeaway from all of this? So well, while it's a pretty cool that coffee might have some protective effects against Parkinson's disease, especially for men, we still need more research to understand exactly how it all works. In summary, so studies suggest that drinking coffee might lower the risk of Parkinson's disease, but we are not entirely sure of how it works. So while coffee might have some benefits, we need more research before making any recommendations. Now let's talk about the coffee and cancer. So scientists have looked at how coffee affects the chances of getting cancer, and here is what they found. Drinking coffee might lower the risk of some cancers. For example, like liver cancer and a type of cancer in the womb. This is called endometrial cancer. So people who drink 3 or more cups of coffee a day seem to have a lower risk of these cancers. But when it comes to breast cancer, it's different. So for older women, coffee doesn't seem to make much of a difference. But for younger women and those with certain genes, drinking more coffee might lower their risk of getting cancer. So